True life story. How I ended up selling my body for money. My name is Esther. I was born into a family of 6, the firstborn and the only daughter. Life was difficult for us, so much so that we couldn't afford to go to school. Despite our struggles, the love between us was inseparable. Being 7 years older than my immediate brother, I carried many responsibilities on my young shoulders. I helped my mother in the market and prepared food for the family. My father was a farmer who also climbed palm trees to harvest palm fruit for others. One fateful day, he went to the farm as usual but never returned the same. He was brought home to us lifeless. My mother did everything she could to save him, selling everything we owned to pay for his treatment. But life was cruel. We lost him. His family blamed my mother for his death, calling her a curse to the family. The pain was too much for her to bear. One evening, she called me into her room and made me promise that I would never abandon my brothers, that I would always stand by them no matter what. Tears streamed down our faces as I assured her, I will never let them suffer. After our heartfelt conversation, she asked me to get her some water. When I returned, she was gone, her lifeless eyes staring into nothingness. I cried until I had no more tears left, but tears could not bring her back. That was the beginning of my journey. Our uncles came and took us in, promising to take care of us. My uncle Emika's daughter lived in Dubai. One day, he told me that she would be coming to take me abroad to study. At first, my uncle's house felt like a place of refuge. I believed his words when he said he would take care of us. But soon, I realized that his kindness had limits. I was treated like a maid, waking up before sunrise to clean, cook, and take care of his children. My brothers were given little attention, often scolded and treated as burdens. I reminded myself of the promise I made to my mother. I endured everything, hoping that one day, things would get better. Then one day, Uncle Emika sat me down and told me that his daughter, Amara, who lived in Dubai, had agreed to take me abroad. She will help you get an education, he said. You will have a better life there. A wave of hope washed over me. Maybe this was my chance to escape poverty, to change my life, and to fulfill my mother's last wish by providing for my brothers. 2 weeks later, I was at the airport, clutching a small bag filled with second-hand clothes my uncle's wife had given me. My heart was racing, half with excitement, half with fear. I had never been outside my village, and now I was about to travel to a foreign country with someone I barely knew. Amara met me at the airport in Dubai. She looked glamorous, dressed in expensive clothes and jewelry, her perfume filling the air around her. She smiled warmly and hugged me, saying, "Welcome to your new home, Esther." For the first few days, everything seemed fine. She took me to a salon, bought me new clothes, and even took me out to eat fancy food I had never seen before. But soon, the reality of my situation became clear. One evening, Amara came into my room and threw a short, tight dress on the bed. "Get dressed," she ordered. "We're going out." I hesitated, looking at the revealing dress. "Where are we going?" I asked. She rolled her eyes. "Look, Esther, let's not waste time. You didn't come here for free. Do you think life here is easy? The money I spent on your ticket and those clothes, you need to pay it back." My heart pounded in my chest. "But you said I came here to study." She laughed coldly. "You're so naive. There's no school for you here. You're here to work." I shook my head. "I can work. I can clean. I can cook." She cut me off. "That's not the kind of work you'll be doing." Tears filled my eyes as I realized what she meant. I refused at first. I begged her to let me go back home, but she laughed at me. "Where will you go? You have no money, no papers, nothing. And if you try to run, the police will arrest you." That night, she took me to a club filled with loud music, flashing lights, and men who looked at me like I was nothing more than a product to be bought. I felt my soul leave my body as Amara introduced me to a man who handed her money before leading me away. I wanted to fight. I wanted to run. But I thought about my brothers back home, starving and suffering. I had promised my mother I would take care of them. And so, I surrendered. Night after night, I lived a nightmare, trapped in a life I never chose. My body became a currency, my soul slowly fading with every transaction. But deep inside, I held on to one hope: one day, I would escape. One day, I would be free.